He drilled a nearly invisible hole in a ping pong ball. He injected a special liquid inside. Then he adjusted each ball's weight so they were all within 0.2 grams of each other. This way no one would notice, but it would subtly change the ball's trajectory. He made 7 of these modified ping pong balls. He placed them into the drawing machine. The moment the air blower kicked in, the miracle happened. Every single loaded ball popped out in the exact order he had planned. Mark was just one step away from hitting the jackpot. All he had to do was swap his 7 tampered balls into the official lottery set. That would seal the deal. Mark used his position as director of the lottery commission to approach Charlie, the man in charge of the balls. He made up a story about a promotional event for the lottery. Then he tried to trick Charlie into handing over the keys to the storage cabinet. But Charlie's face hardened immediately. His attitude didn't soften one bit. No one could take out any lottery ball unless he and the auditor were both present. Mark's carefully planned dream of riches was stopped cold by a low-level clerk. But there's always a way out. That weekend, Mark and his wife went to see a magic show. In that moment, something clicked for Mark. The magician on stage asked his wife what her favorite color was. Then he tossed a white ping pong ball toward her. The moment it passed through a hula hoop, the ball turned that exact color, her favorite red. What shocked Mark even more, the magician clearly threw ball number 11. But when he looked again, the number had changed to 13. Right then, inspiration flooded his mind. A crazy, bold plan started taking shape in his head. What he was about to do was nothing less than a magic trick on a much larger scale. As soon as the show ended, Mark rushed backstage. He found the magician, who had just changed his clothes. He was desperate to know how the ball was switched in front of thousands of people, and how they pulled it off without a single flaw. But this was the man's livelihood. He wasn't about to spill his secrets in just a few words. Still, seeing how eager Mark was, the magician softened a little. But he only said one thing. He had a team. How big the team was depended on the scale of the trick and how many people were in the audience. Mark read between the lines. He pulled out every bill in his wallet and shoved the cash at the magician. Once the money was in his hand, the magician gave it up. The key is psychological misdirection and shifting attention. You don't need to change the actual object. You just need to make the audience see what you want them to see. Those words were like a key. They unlocked the door in Mark's mind. He realized the lottery broadcast itself was a giant magic show. It played out in front of tens of millions of viewers. He didn't need to alter the winning numbers. He just needed the whole country to see the numbers he wanted them to see. Of course, as the magician said, he couldn't do it alone. He needed a team, a group of accomplices. And they had to be people who, like him, had their backs against the wall. At the lottery office, that kind of person was easy to find. The first people Mark approached were Luis and Victor, the brothers who handled the cameras. They'd worked at the TV station for almost 10 years. They controlled everything, the camera shots, the switching, the post-production for the live drawing. The reason Mark went to them was obvious. These brothers were the technical core of the whole plan. But as soon as they heard the crazy idea, both of them thought Mark had lost his mind. There was no way to hack into the lottery system that easily. Mark just gave a calm smile. From the start, his plan had nothing to do with hacking the system. He had a method with far less risk and a much higher chance of success. The brothers couldn't help asking why he came to them first. Mark put it bluntly, because you're poor enough and ordinary enough that nobody gives you a second look. More importantly, no one would ever suspect that a bunch of invisible nobodies would target the lottery jackpot. Seeing they still weren't convinced, Mark laid down the hard truth. If we pull this off, neither of you will ever have to bow down to money again. The lure of overnight riches finally hooked the desperate brothers. Mark's next target was Lena, the host of the live lottery draw. She was the perfect distraction, the one who could grab everyone's attention. At that time, Lena was in a desperate fight for custody of her son against her ex-husband. He used his deep pockets to squeeze her. He hired a top lawyer and tried to strip away her visitation rights completely. Lena needed 500,000 pesos fast to fight the case and get fake passports so she could take her son out of Mexico. Mark staged a chance encounter and asked to talk. She was rushing to an online gig to earn some extra cash, so she let Mark give her a ride home to pick up a few things. During the ride, Mark got straight to the point. He said he could fix her biggest problem. Lena's instinct was disbelief, but when Mark offered her 5 million pesos, she wavered. She knew it was a crime, but when she thought about her son, she said yes. Next, Mark needed the hardest man to convince in the whole scheme, Charlie. He held the key to the entire plan. Without him, no one could touch that case of lottery balls. Charlie was a devout Catholic. He'd clawed his way out of addiction through faith, so his moral line meant more to him than his own life. But even the strongest person can break under enough blows from life. The church pastor was desperate for money to build a new chapel. Meanwhile, Charlie's father's dialysis bills kept piling up. The hospital had given a final warning. Charlie's meager salary couldn't keep up. Mark knew exactly where to press. He arranged a fake run-in with Charlie at the hospital. He wanted to try talking one more time. But before Mark could get the words out, Charlie shut him down. Charlie had zero interest in anything illegal. Mark wouldn't let it go. He told Charlie to name his price. Any amount was on the table. All he got back was undisguised contempt. Charlie stared him straight in the eye. He said, "This isn't about money. You've already crossed my line. Faith pulled me out of that hole. I will never throw myself back into hell." Mark walked away furious. His daughter's racing dream was on the line. He had 2 weeks to come up with 6 million in sponsorship money. When the others found out, they were shocked and pissed. The plan couldn't move forward without Charlie. He already knew everything about them. If he didn't cooperate, he could report them at any moment. Now they needed to use some unconventional methods. But before they could make a move, trouble came knocking.